simultaneously here. Facebook, hello. Instagram, hello. All right, it is Wednesday, around 12:15. It is like the Wizard of Oz outside. It is insane, the winds here, so I'm hoping that my connection stays strong. I live on Lake Simcoe up here, and sometimes these winds are just nuts, and so if the connection drops or freezes, don't freak out. I'll hop back on at some point, get it done, and then post it up for you. But I wanted to welcome you all in today. I posted yesterday that I was going to be on doing, I said a Wellness Wednesday, but Wednesdays for the Simplicity Project, my company, have always been Cut the BS Wednesday. So we're going to cut the BS today. We're going to cut it all around digestion and inflammation. And I've got a couple questions here that came in that I thought that I would address. Digestion, especially if you listened to me the other day, if you've ever been part of any of the programs that I've taught or you've just met me in life, you have probably heard me talk to you about the importance of your gut, why your digestive system is so fundamental. It is the foundation when we are talking about living a healthy life. This is where your immune system lives. This is where your bacterial colony and your whole microbiome and microbiota live and exist. This is where you're producing the majority of your happy neurotransmitters, your hormones like serotonin and dopamine. Everything begins within the gut. And regardless of what your goals are, whether it is to lose weight, to balance your blood sugar, to have more energy, to sleep better, to heal your adrenals and your thyroid, to balance your menstrual cycles, your periods, we are still going to bring our attention and focus back to the digestive system. So this is something I could talk about all the time. And I mean, I get a lot of different questions every day. Primarily what comes into my life and into my business is digestion, inflammation, and hormones. That is who I am and that is what I do. Any of the other stuff, I'll typically refer you out to one of my clients because that's what I focus on is your gut, healing your inflammation, and helping you to balance your hormones. Weight loss ends up being the bonus of all of those things, but I am definitely not a weight loss coach. I am a let's heal your body and work from the ground and the root up. And then the weight loss becomes the bonus, the benefit on the other side of it. So let's get into these questions today. And if you have any new questions about digestion, you can post them. I would give me about, I'd say 10 minutes before you start to fly those questions out there, just because I already have enough that's going to keep me busy talking for the next 10 minutes, and then we can go from there. My goal, I always say this, I'm horrible with getting things done in a short period of time. I'm very passionate about this, but truthfully today we are going to be no more than 30 minutes. It's 12:20 on the clock, so here we go. First question I got was, where do you begin to determine your biggest triggers? So this person who wrote in was saying that they have had years of gas and bloating and indigestion, that they always feel like this is something that they're battling against. And where do you begin? How can you start to understand what your biggest triggers are when it comes to your gut and your digestive system? So here's what I would say. The first thing that I would ask you to do is first ask the question, is it acute or is it chronic? So is this something that when you have fast food or you eat too much popcorn or you have too much sodium, something like that, you notice that your stomach just feels off? That would be acute. That would be connected directly to what it is that you've just consumed. If this is something chronic where you feel like no matter what you eat, no matter what you have, no matter what time of day it is, the combination, healthy, organic, non-GMO, or processed, you are constantly gassy and bloated. You are feeling indigestion, like your food is just sitting there. Your waistline is expanding. You want to undo your pants, but you can't because you're in public. And you have difficulty with regular bowel movements. You're constipated, or even if you do go, it's not a full void. Oftentimes people will say to me, I feel like I have to go multiple times to the bathroom over the course of a day, but it feels like it's the same bowel movement that I'm working on every time I go to the bathroom. So that would be something that's chronic. This is plaguing you. It's going on all the time. So the next step in that is that I would ask you, what are the things that you are commonly eating and drinking every single day? So if you think about a 24-hour day in your life, when you wake up in the morning, what do you start your day with? Is it water? Is it tea? Is it coffee? Is it a latte? Is it juice? Is it a smoothie? Is it nothing? What are the snacks that you're eating typically every day? What are the lunches that you're typically having every day? What are your evening dinners? Are you eating late at night? What are the things? It's interesting because, when I was in school for nutrition, they said you need to get at least a week, journal from people to see what they're eating. You don't. Within like 3 days, you can tell people's habits and patterns. We pretty much eat the same thing all the time. So you would look at those things and ask yourself, okay, what are the most common triggers out of that? Here's what I know to be true. When I have people come to me with digestive issues, the first thing that I take them off of is dairy, because it's pervasive and it's in a lot of things and it's happening often. So you can think you don't consume a lot of dairy, but if you get up in the morning and you have your coffee or tea and you have milk, or you have your cereal and you have milk, or you have your smoothie and you have milk, or you have your yogurt and you have milk, there's your first hit of dairy. Then as you transition into your day, common morning snack for people, I don't know if you can hear the raging wind here. A common snack in the morning for people is yogurt and granola, or cheese and crackers. So there's another hit of your dairy. And then at lunch, having a sandwich with cheese, or having a yogurt parfait, or having a sauce that has dairy. There's another amount of dairy that you've got there. And then afternoon snacks, same thing. Typically what I find for people, if they haven't had the yogurt in the morning, it's going to show up in the afternoon. If they haven't had the cheese and crackers in the morning, it's showing up in the afternoon. Or they're having a smoothie, but they're using something that's either dairy-based in the milk, or they're using a whey-based protein powder. And a whey-based protein powder for most people, especially if you're just starting on this journey of healing your body, is going to cause some inflammation. Now, is that to say that all whey is created equally and that nobody could tolerate it? No, there are some people who do okay on it, but they usually have a stronger constitution in their gut. You'll know this about yourself. Like if I were to ask you, when you feel unwell, where do you feel it first? Some people are going to say it goes straight to my chest. Mucus congestion. Other people like myself, it's my throat. This is my GPS in life, if I am in alignment or not. And other people will say, oh, it's my stomach. If I'm out of alignment in my life, if I haven't eaten well, if I've overindulged, it is going to show up in my gut. So you want to be able to discern for yourself those things. Then we would work on taking out the triggers. So eliminate the dairy. Gluten, I would definitely say, and the reason is that it's what we're not eating because we're consuming so much of it. So the gluten is going to show up in your crackers, your breads, some of your various bars that you're having. It's disguised as different ingredients and preservatives and that. So if you can start to remove gluten in the way of flour-based products, right? Don't just try to switch from, if you've got a lot of digestive issues, I don't recommend that you do this. I don't recommend that you open your cupboard and you say, okay, I'm going to pull the gluten-containing crackers, pasta, and breads out, and now I'm going to go and buy gluten-free crackers, gluten-free pasta, and gluten-free bread. What I would say in the beginning, because we're always looking for like the shortcut to it, is let's eliminate those grains as a whole initially and give your body the chance for those flames to just cool down. Like just eliminate the trigger. So instead of having breads all the time, could you do, roasted vegetables and different better-based salads and stir fries? And could you do lettuce wraps? And could you get some gluten-free wraps that are, cassava flour based or something that's not going to irritate your gut? When you're making that transition and eliminating things like gluten out of your body for your digestive health, you're trying to move towards foods that truly never contained gluten in the first place, not a product that's been manufactured that has extracted or removed the gluten from it, if that makes sense. The next thing that I would ask you is the stimulants. How many stimulants are you having in a day that could be irritating, overproducing hydrochloric acid in your stomach, robbing you of hydrochloric acid and enzymes, so that when you go to eat your food, you don't have a strong enough digestive pool to break the food down. You don't have enough enzymes to work through the food. And so your body in turn, either you feel sluggish and you feel like your food is just sitting there, and what happens when you're bloating and you have gas is that food is putrefying and fermenting. And it's the off-gassing of the ferment and the putrefaction that's causing the gas and bloating, okay? So you can feel this, you can hear this. If your gas has an odor that smells like what you've just eaten, this is a strong indication that your body didn't do well with that food and had a pretty difficult time digesting and breaking down some of the protein antigens in that food. So, you want to look at how much coffee are you having, and even tea. You've got to look at, caffeine is a stimulant. So there's two schools on this, right? There is coffee in and of itself, which is a stimulating diuretic product for the body. Not everybody metabolizes it the same. If you're a really fast burner and it affects you and you get jittery and you get the nervousness, that's a big thing. If you are somebody that, I have girlfriends who could drink like a half a pot or more of coffee in a day, and they are always like this. If I have a mouthful of coffee, I'm like a spaz. It's just our constitution. It also comes down to the metabolites and what's happening on an enzyme level in your liver as well. This plays a big role into our hormones for women, especially in terms of estrogen. So I in my practice, I'm not a big fan of doing the coffees. I'm not a big fan of doing the buttered or the bulletproof coffees. I use elixirs all the time. And I have my reasons for that. Gut health, but also your adrenals and your thyroid for that. So that's where you would start. Now, people ask all the time, and this is one of the questions, how long does healing actually take? Well, this is the $1 million question, because it's not just about you being given new suggestions and tips and a protocol. It's the implementation. And when we're talking about creating these changes, if you're just hopping on now and see me going back and forth, it's because I'm talking to Instagram here and I'm talking to Facebook here. When you are starting to initiate these changes, it doesn't just happen like that. So it's not like you receive a protocol and you get some coaching and suggestions on this and you're going to wake up tomorrow and be like, brand new person, I'm just going to slide into this new way of life. It doesn't happen. It's a transition, and it involves not just you, but also your family members, your spouse. A lot of the times when you're making these changes, you're also being introduced to new food and a new way of preparing food. So you need to be patient. You need to be super loving and compassionate with yourself and understand that this is a process, that this is a journey of a healthy life. This isn't about creating something you want in 30 days or 60 days. This is like, when you are showing up for digestive health, you are saying to your body, love you, care about you, and you are worth me committing my lifetime to you. We don't heal a gut like this and then just revert back to what we were doing. So on average, when we're going through a leaky gut or a gut healing protocol, I would say it's a minimum of being really invested in it for at least 3 months. Now, you can start to remove things for 3 weeks at a period of time. You could remove one of your big triggers for a couple of days and then reintroduce it, and your body can give you some feedback. Because everyone will ask me, well, how long do I have to cut the dairy out? Or how long do I have to cut the gluten out, or the sugar or the coffee, or whatever it may be? I don't have a black or white answer for that, because I don't know you and I don't know your health history, your goals, your background, or where you're going right now. What I will tell you is that the longer that you have had this food as a part of your life, the more damage that most likely has been done. And we need to give the body an opportunity to drop its shoulders and be able to create some actual restoration, to repair and to heal. So part of that is you've got to remove the trigger. You want to replace it with some good bacteria and some healthy food. We don't want this to be about everything you're not allowed to have anymore and feeling deprived. That sucks. And you're not going to stick to that. No one sticks to that when you're feeling like you've got to count every morsel and everything that was chewy and delicious is no longer in the spectrum of what you can have. If that's what your program is, that's just BS. You're not working with somebody who A, thinks outside of the box, or B, is creative, or C, probably even loves to cook themselves. This is a big thing, is that I get it. I have children, busy children. I have a spouse. I run multiple businesses, and I'm very busy, but I prioritize the heck out of our food prep because it matters. It matters. It matters more than showing up for your exercise. Exercise is a conscious choice for your body. You will not die if you don't exercise. Will you live a better life if you exercise? 100%. Will your body feel better? 100%. But will you die if you don't go to the gym? You will not. You have to make food choices 24/7, 365 for you, for all the little people in your house, for your spouse, for your family. It is a much more taxing and much more diverse and multifaceted aspect of how well we live. It is, in my opinion, where the most of your energy should go, to be what is going in your grocery cart, what are you preparing, how are you preparing it, what is going on in your body, and then understanding. This is why I teach courses. Understanding the cause and the effect. What is it actually doing in your body? Why does it matter so much? Why does it matter what we eat? Right? Your digestive system, if you're the person that you are constantly feeling unwell. Everything goes through you, or you feel like you've got weeks worth of stuff that's still sitting in you. You get reflux, you can feel it building up. You have this expanding waistline that is not responding regardless of what it is that you do. Your cravings are off the rocker. Like all of these things, you're battling with anxiety and depression. We're not taught that those things are connected to our digestive system. Like everything is connected back to your gut. Everything. I always say to people, if you feel like you are getting lost along the way, always come back and ask yourself, how is the integrity of my gut? Is my digestion on point? Because if it's not, it's always where you steer the ship. It's always where you steer the ship. People ask, how long do you have to stay on a healing protocol for? Again, this question just came in, and I've said it all depends on the individual, but I really ask for a minimum of 3 months with people because it's a process of changing your lifestyle and your body has to respond. And then there's got to be feedback. How are you doing? What's going on? Are we on the right path? Do we have to change and modify things slightly? I can't lose weight in my waist. Does my digestion have anything to do with this? 100% it does. If your body can't digest and break down the food that you're consuming, it can't extrapolate any of the goodness out for the various systems and organs and necessary needs that your body has for all your vitamins and minerals and your macronutrients in that food. But your body also, if you have constipation, okay, so if you are only going to the bathroom every once in a while, you are literally, like, not just like where we say, oh, so-and-so is full of shit. You are full of shit. You are full of waste in your body. You have 28 feet of intestinal tract. There is a lot of room in there for a lot of stuff to get jammed up. If you aren't going to the bathroom on a regular schedule, if your digestion is off in any which way, that's a source of inflammation. So there's an inflammatory response where your body's going to hold on to weight. If those things are happening, your blood sugar is out of balance. And your blood sugar, insulin is your fat storing hormone. If you have weight that just continues to come onto your body, and it's like a puffy, doughy kind of weight where you're just like, oh my God, if I could just let some air out, this would go down and I would feel thinner, right? Your rings aren't coming off as well anymore. You see it and feel it in your face. You have deep lines from your socks and from your pants and from your shoes. These are all ways your body is giving you an indication that there is an inflammatory response going on. And you've got to ask yourself, like, this is what I say, to heal your gut, you've got to start with your butt. Is my exit path functioning well? Am I digesting my food really well? Gas and bloating shouldn't be an issue. You're not burping a lot. You're not seeing a ton of undigested food in your stool, right? And then how are my cravings? Are my cravings in check? If your cravings are in check, it's a big indication your blood sugar is not in check. Do you get hangry? Are you like the devil if you haven't been fed at regular intervals? Do you snap at people? Are you really short? Are you more impatient? Do you get dizzy? Do you have headaches? If those types of signs and symptoms are happening, that is your blood sugar talking to you. That is it, like smacking you in the face and being like, wake up. Feed me, but don't go and feed me another latte or a croissant or a muffin or your kid's Easter chocolate. You think in your head that's what you're hearing your body say, because it's just like, I'm so fucking hungry. Get me something now. What it's saying is, I am so far out of balance, I cannot even manage my emotions and my cognition. I can't even think and process. You need to ground me. But because we're already out of our own body at that point, we're not thinking we need to go and have an avocado and sweet potato. We're thinking, what isn't nailed down that I can annihilate right now before I hurt someone? And we make that choice. And then we feel good for a moment, and then your body's like, and next please, and next please, because it's just looking for the quick fix, because there's no nutrition in that. You're not satisfied. Your body's never going to be satisfied. You'll never hit on those hunger, cues, that satiating hormone leptin. Your body's just going to be like, Graylin's just going to take on over and keep asking you for more. So yeah, your weight is definitely due to what's going on with your digestive system. And I watch women all the time kill themselves in the gym, and they just get bigger. And I'm like, and I don't say anything because I have my earbuds in and I'm just doing my thing, and I'm not just going to walk up and be like, tell me more. But I know when I see the woman who is showing up to the gym, who's, checking all the appropriate things off the list, and she's just getting puffier and bigger. Or when women email me and say, I feel, I've started to work out and now I'm bulking. I'm like, your muscles aren't bulking. It's pretty damn hard to bulk up your muscles when you're a woman. We've got some inflammation that's going on. So, it's amazing that we've started this exercise and movement routine, but now we've got to take a look into how are you super nourishing and supporting your body, right? Like the answers are in your body. The solutions are in your body. You're just probably lacking some of the tools and the resources and the education to know, oh, that sign or symptom that I get is telling me I need to do this or that, or stop consuming this or add more of this. Amazing. Thank you. Okay, now how do I do that? That's where then somebody like I jump into your life and give you the tips and tools and resources so you know how to actually implement and create success, right? Why do we have undigested food in the stool is the next question. So again, this will come down to your gut. If you have an underactive digestive system, meaning that you are not producing enough hydrochloric acid, you don't have a very rich pool of enzymes, you don't chew your food, your digestion actually begins in your mouth. So most people are like, chew 1, 2, swallow, chew 1, 2, swallow. Chug it on back with a bunch of water, chew 1, 2, swallow. So you are ingesting this, almost solid food down into your stomach. And if your stomach is already slow, you're not going to be able to fully break this down. And so it's going to pass through and you're going to see some of that food that's undigested, that literally has not been broken down. When you're talking about things like corn, or a lot of like nuts and seeds and that, chewing is definitely going to help, but there's also like a cellulose, especially for the corn, there's a coating that's on the outside of that. You might even see that after you've had like beans or edamame, lentils, and that you may see like the remnants of some shells that are in there, and people get totally grossed out by poop. And I'm like, dear Lord, get over it. Like it's a daily report card from your body and it's giving you a massive, massive window into your overall health. You need to look. You all who are parents know this. What is the thing you pay attention to in your children to make sure that things are going well? Babies that can't talk to you and communicate, tell you that their tummy is hurting and all these things. What do you look at? You look in their diaper, you become a poop detective. You want to know what's in there. You look at their skin, you pay attention to their mood and their sleep. Those are the 4-pronged things that we are looking at in our babies. Poop, skin, sleep, and mood. Okay, because when any one of these things are off, life is not fun. Okay, life is not fun. And we're trying to be a detective and figure out what's going on with our child. It doesn't change. It doesn't matter how old you are. What's showing up in your poop? What's going on with your gut? What is your skin telling you? What is your mood like? And are you getting sleep? If any one of these things is off, the whole system is going to get thrown off kilter. It's like trying to drive a car with 3 wheels. Okay? Nobody be a smartass and be like, there's actually a 3-wheel car. It's not what I'm talking about. It's not in alignment. And so something has to give. Your health is the thing that's going to give. Okay. So you peel it all the way back to the foundation. This is why Simplicity Project, the Hormone Project, everything starts, you are taught about the gut. I don't work with people anymore until they are ready to start to understand about their digestive system, because everything else, all the things people want, the supplement list, the exercise training program, the meal plan, none of it will make a damn difference for the longevity of your health and all of your goals unless you understand why your body's giving you all these digestive symptoms in the first place. So slow yourself down and learn what you need to learn about it. Okay, so for those of you that are coming into the Simplicity Project that starts on April 16th and we still have spots open, your first deep dive with me is all about your digestive system, all about the inflammatory response, all about how you start to initiate a leaky gut healing protocol. And I will just say, any of you who have ever been told that you have IBS, which is I just call interesting bullshit because it's a kitchen sink term for all of these digestive issues, what it means is nobody spent enough time with you and sat down and did the due diligence to figure out what are the triggers, why is your body having this response in the first place. So I go through everything, and then I'll talk about different diagnostics and tests as well too, and things like parasite and GI mapping and organic acid test and all of that, so that you can stop guessing and that we can really start to get to the root of what is going on. Most people who have excess body weight on them, so if you're dealing with 70, 80, 100 pounds and more, there's typically a bigger picture that's going on. But when I'm meeting with women who have 10, 15, 20, and 30 extra pounds sitting on them, A lot of this is tied into what's going on in their digestive system, and that there is something that has been flying under the radar that has been like stealth for a really long time that nobody's just been able to peel the layers back on. And that's what I really focus on doing with people, is we just start to layer by layer by layer by layer and go deeper and deeper and deeper until we get to the root. Because once you're at the root, that's where real growth can actually start to happen. And the problem is we don't recognize that. We just start with all the surface stuff on top. You can look outside on a day like today with these, trees all around me here that are just blowing side to side. A tree doesn't grow from the top down. A tree starts from seeds and has to grow some strong ass roots. That's its foundation. In order to grow that trunk, get strong enough, create the buds, and then it goes through this cycle. Your body is no different. So you've really got to ask yourself, when you say like, I'm drawing the line in the sand and I'm super committed this time and I'm going to make a difference and I'm going to heal my body, be prepared to start with your digestive system and be prepared to create some really strong roots. You'll never go wrong with that. And I promise you, if you are patient enough to establish that connection with your digestive system and build that body awareness, strengthen the constitution that is your individual human body, it will always steer you back like a rudder and keep you pointed towards the right direction of where you're trying to go with your health. Okay? 2 more questions here. How to manage constipation. Okay, so this would be a lot of the things I've already talked about, but I will add on to that as well too, that if you're not already, so we've talked about removing the triggers, replacing, so things like probiotics, fermented foods. Not everybody is going to do well adding in a ton of fermented foods. So I have a lot of people who just jump on the kombucha bandwagon or adding kimchi and, sauerkraut and doing all these things. And they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so painfully bloated and gassy. I'm like, well, you jumped ahead of it. If you have SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, we could have some other issues that are going on and your body's not really going to appreciate this massive inoculation right now. So maybe it's things like hydrocolon therapy. I have a couple of really great colleagues that I send a lot of clients to, and hydrocolon therapy, for those of you who have never experienced it, there is water that is flushed up in through the bum to help to break up and break away all of the dried fecal matter and debris. And I know people like squirm on their seat, but you just don't understand how much can be sitting in your body, and that creates a level of autotoxicity where if you've got leftover stool and fecal matter that's sitting within that 28 feet of intestinal tract and it's off-gassing, those toxins and harmful chemicals and all of the waste. You have to remember, like fecal matter, your shit is waste. It is meant to be getting out of your body. And if your back end, your exit path has a massive traffic jam and things are backing up, well, it doesn't just sit there and be like, don't worry, I'm not going to cause me problems. It's like, a child in the candy store. It's just like, oh my God, I'm going back up and going to create some more shit up top there. And you end up retoxifying your system. So that would be something as well too. You can try things like magnesium. I like the Calms powder at night in water, the magnesium citrate. Some with, the bisglycinate. Honestly, I have found it really depends on the individual. I have some clients who do really well with it, some who don't, some who can't do magnesium at all. It actually bungs them up even more. Triphala by AOR is a great one as well too. But I'm very hesitant on like, try this, do that, like supplement wise, because you've got to work at the root. So we don't want to just use a healthy Band-Aid. Castor oil packs, so getting some organic castor oil, saturating some flannel or terry cloths, laying it across the abdomen, and actually like following. And if you don't know the map of your intestinal system, you can just Google that and you can see an image and lay it over top with a hot water pad to help to encourage peristalsis and get things moving. If you're not exercising, like if you're sitting in a chair all day long, you're shutting off all the flow, all the chi, all the energy to that area. And the nerves that are flowing through the spine that are affecting your digestive and intestinal system and your poop are through your lumbosacral area of your spine. So if you're always sitting like this, your tailbone is jammed up, your sacrum is mutated, your SI joints are having an issue, you need to get adjusted regularly or see an osteopath. You need to exercise, squat, get down and hold malasana, that deep yogi squat. Breathe better, right? Half the time people are so full of shit is because they don't breathe and they're just literally holding on to everything. So you've got to learn to let go. And then obvious things like your water, increasing, your greens. I would say in the beginning, if you've constipation issues, I would not be adding in a whole bunch of raw veggies. I would be doing a lot of steamed, roasted, sauteed, like just very simple. Possibly look at removing your grains right now, and look at how many sources of healthy quality fat you're getting into your body as well too. Okay, last question here. Does low progesterone and estrogen affect digestion? Oh God, that's like a Pandora's box question to be the last one, and I don't have that much time. Short answer, heck yeah. You have to remember, if you've jumped on and listened when I've talked about done my thyroid masterclass and talked about adrenal health, is that when we have any area of our body, and as women, it is, again, much more multifaceted because it's amazing as a woman that we have the endocrine system that we do, but it's got a lot of moving pieces. And when something is low, when something is out of balance, so here the question is about progesterone and estrogen, everything else is going to start to slow down as well as a result. And when we have out of balance hormones, when there's that level of dysbiosis, when something is too elevated or something is too low, that's a big sign of inflammation in the body. And it doesn't stay isolated. Your body is not compartmentalized. It's not like, you only have this issue that's happening with your gut, or you only have this issue that's happening with your thyroid, or, with your PMS or your reproductive system. It's everything is being affected by this because we are one whole body and one whole system, and there's a massive feedback loop that's happening on a daily basis. So my bigger question in this isn't, do low progesterone and low estrogen affect digestion? The answer is yes. My bigger question is, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Were you having issues with the hormones? And I don't know what your health history is to know where those started or what was going on, and that affected digestion, or was digestion an issue and you've had issues going on there for a long time that started to affect your hormone levels? So that's where I would recommend that you message and ask about booking a direct one-to-one consult and doing some coaching on that. Those are I know in our mind's eye, when we're going through it, we're just asking and asking because we want a quick solution. There's not a quick answer to things like that, because the quick answer was yes, but the reason why and then how you work out of it all comes down to the actual human, the individual. Like, that's what holistic is. It's whole person, whole life. It's everything. It's all the stuff, all the things. Okay, I'm going to sign off. That was fun. No technical errors today. Yes. Love when that happens. Those of you on Facebook, those of you on Instagram, and yes, those of you that are asking down below, the Simplicity Project, which is my foundational course. This is a 6-week course that everybody flows into. It is based off of my book. It's live classes of me taking you through all of my teachings. I have guest experts that come in. We all come together June 9th in Newmarket in a massive live event with 200 women, amazing guest speakers for that, swag bags, Nature's Emporium caters the food for the whole day. It's frigging amazing. It starts on April 16th. So you can, on Instagram in my bio, if you go up to my link tree, you'll see the Simplicity Project online. You're going to click on that. You can register there. I take 65 women each time that we go through the program. Those of you on Facebook, you can hop over to Instagram, or you'll see we've been linking it in post. I would direct you to my website, but it's under construction and it is being relaunched in 2 weeks. So with that, one last thing, Monday night, I am hosting a free webinar that you can register and sign up for. Again, it'll be in our Instagram and our Facebook feed in about the next 24 hours. It is Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. It is 1 hour, and I am actually walking you through all the curriculum of the Simplicity Project. We are celebrating our 5th round this year. It is my initial baby. It is the first program I ever created online, and every year I just keep going back and adding more energetically and literally to the program, and I'm so damn proud of it. So damn proud of it. And this year, one of the big bonuses that we've included is I'm walking you through my whole Simplicity Finances worksheet, how I took myself out of an insane amount of debt running and owning a business and us being super stressed as a family to being where we are now, and how our lifestyle in terms of our health and vitality didn't suffer for a moment. I didn't have to stop buying organic groceries. I didn't have to stop doing all the things we were doing, all of that stuff. So that's a big one that I am sharing this year in the course, online and in person at our event. So with that, I will say goodbye. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Those of you living in Ontario, don't blow away in these winds today because they are crazy. Have a good one.